Hi, I'm Kevin Coupe, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. Well, I'm back. And one of the things that Michael Sansolo and I talk about a lot is having gotten used to this soapbox. What'll happen is, on one of those days or weeks when we're not writing or talking, something will happen. And, we won't have anybody to talk to about it. We won't have a place to rant about it or rave about it or whatever it happens to be. And, frankly, it's a little bit frustrating sometimes because we look around and the only people we have to talk to are our wives and kids, and God knows they don't want to listen to us. Well, that's exactly what happened to me almost as soon as I went off on vacation. No sooner had I signed off than there was a little bit of a controversy. This had to do with something that happened on cable television. Maybe you read about it or heard about it. Mark Halperin of MSNBC and Time Magazine was on Morning Joe, and about 6:04 in the morning, he decided to use an unpleasant word to refer to the President of the United States. Now, he apologized for it a few minutes later, but he was suspended, indefinite suspension, because of what he'd said. And I think this is kind of interesting, and all sorts of business lessons that one could take from it. I happen to be watching when he said it. I went, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. There are going to be repercussions for this, as there were. So let me give you a couple of business lessons that I kind of took from this event. Number one, don't overpromise and underdeliver. That's exactly what happened here. Halperin said he had something he wanted to say, but he wasn't sure he could say it. And Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, the show hosts, they told him to say it. They said, don't worry about it. There's a 7-second delay. They promised him that it was going to be bleeped. Well, it wasn't. They overpromised and underdelivered. When you do that in business as well as on cable television, you run the risk of hurting your reputation. So that's number one. Number two, words matter. Words matter. Sometimes these things, are going to blow up in your face if you use the wrong word in a lot of different environments. The thing is that the only place where you could say something like this isn't Morning Joe. It's probably the Daily Show, where it's sort of their stock in trade. But, words matter. Context matters. And they didn't pay attention to that. We have to think about the words that we're using, and we have to think about the context in which we are using them. There's also, to me, a big management lesson here, and I think, frankly, MSNBC blew it. Because the fact of the matter is, Scarborough, Brzezinski, they goaded him into it. The executive producer said, it's okay. And what happened? Well, okay, he didn't hit the button, okay, because he was a newer producer, and he didn't know which button to hit. And so the word went out of the air, and all this sort of stuff happened. You have to be sure that people know how to do their jobs. You have to hold everybody responsible. What MSNBC should have done, quite frankly, is they should have taken everybody off the air for 3 or 4 days and said, that's it. We're not going to tolerate this kind of discourse. We want to be interesting. We want to be intelligent. We want to be provocative. And this was provocative, but for all the wrong reasons. They blew it as far as I'm concerned in terms of management. There are also all sorts of cultural lessons to be learned here about the coarsening of the discourse. And, I see this from time to time in terms of the emails that I get here on Morning Newsbeat. And certainly we all see it in the way people talk to each other in the media, in politics, in government. So people are so staked out on either side. They're unwilling to talk, unwilling to compromise, and therefore nothing gets done. And they refer to each other in unpleasant terms and using unpleasant phrases. It's no way to conduct commerce, it's no way to conduct government, it's no way to conduct politics. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned here, and frankly, I'm just glad to have gotten it off my chest. So anyway, that's what's on my mind this Monday morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind, and I'm glad to be back.